Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new series where today we're here back for the LCR IndyCar series, ready for Season 3. Yes, it's been a while since Season 2 of this series. I'll be honest, at the time of recording this, about the first 4 races have already gone ahead from Season 3, but we're finally back with some footage from this series. Now, for those of you that have been around this channel for a long time, you know I've always been a long-time competitor in the LCR Forza series since its very first race. All the way back on Forza 6 in the V8 Supercars. We are a 6-time LCR Forza champion, 3 times in Formula E, 1 time in last season's IndyCar series, and then Formula Ford, as well as Australian V8 Supercars as well. So the aim this season, of course, is to try and make it title number 7 there. We were able to qualify on pole for the first of this 8-race, or it might even be 10-race calendar, sorry, if I'm not mistaken here. We've got a new revised point system as well for the new season, which I'll get into later on in this video. But yeah, it feels a bit weird actually post-commentating one of these races as well. It's been a very long time since I did a post-com, so obviously let me know in the comments below how rusty I am as well. Then we're getting ready to go green from the first race of the season in Homestead, Miami. It's lights out, and away we go there. We've got Amazement on the outside as we head down in towards the first corner there, but luckily, obviously, with the inside for the first couple of corners, parking on the apex through the first turn there. Don't allow anyone to try and get the switch back on us through that first couple of corners there. It was important early on that we were quick but careful there, you know, get the tyres up to temperature, get into a rhythm nice and early on, and see what we can do in this race. Obviously, Amazement and Jorg, 2 of our main title rivals last season, obviously alongside Dralex, and Amazed OT Connor as well was very quick on his day. So yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting to see. Obviously, those guys put a lot Amazement and Jorg actually do a fair bit of Forza racing nowadays as well. Obviously, we're all part of the same Esports team now, Tempest M-Sport as well there. So yeah, hopefully over the course of this season, you know, those guys were incredibly quick last season. I'm sure once again they'll be bringing their A-game heading into the new championship as well. So yeah, we will certainly have to try and match that and see what we can do over the course of Season 3 here. We're teaming up with Jorg this time around. Obviously, last season we were with Dralex, but obviously being on a proper team outside of this league, obviously with Joe and Jordan as well. Obviously, we've decided to team up with Jordan this time around as Connor and Joe had already decided to stick together there. But over the opening couple of laps, though, of this race, like I said, it was just critical that we settle down into a rhythm early on here, and you can see already setting low 101s there, a high 100, like a 1009 was going to be possible, but it was going to take a really good lap to try and get that in there. As you can see, setting our fastest clean lap of the race so far, they're on 101.3 early on here, and already, as we're only on lap 5 of this race, I'm having to deal with lap cars there. That's Aiden, actually, my teammate from the LCR Formula 1 series as well, that we get around first there. I think there was a bit of carnage at the first corner, lower down the order as well. But yeah, this race was also going to be quite a tight one-stop, so it's certainly going to be interesting to see how we'd all fare with that there. As you can see, onto lap 9, getting past another lap car there as well. It was a little bit all over the road early on in this race. But, you know, the first race of the new season always going to be a little bit difficult. Everyone trying to learn the ropes of the games there, and you can see 1 lap later we closed up to the back of Notyal F1 there. You can see heading into the next corner there, we're much later on the brakes there. He does actually close the door on us, so then we try and get a run around the outside there. A tiny bit of contact, that won't do any damage or any harm to either of us there. But yeah, we do get round him, and then you can see onto lap 16, coming towards the pit stop window here. Like I said, it was going to be a tight one-stop strategy here today, but hopefully we can keep it clean and get through. Obviously, it was actually more about the fuel than the tyres, rather surprisingly, for this one. You can see trying to get a run on our good friend Jack Tudor there. He actually moves back over to the racing line, and we just weren't expecting him to break that early into the corner there. We did end up accidentally going into the back of it there, but we spoke after the race. Sort of, you know, he was very fortunate in the way it didn't cost him any positions in the grand scheme of things there, but obviously I did apologise for that. I thought after he went offline, he was going to stay offline for us, and obviously let's take position as well there. But on to the end of lap 18, obviously we need to try and get one more lap out of the car there. You can see fuel very tight. At the moment we were just down to 5% there, so we were actually a little bit under where we wanted to be on the fuel target there. We were about 0.5% to 1% short heading onto the final lap of the stint there. You see we have put up a little bit of a gap over the likes of Joe, Jordan there, and Connor. Unfortunately, Dralex, our old teammate, had actually been taken out or tangled up with one of the lap cars early on in the race there, which pretty much had put him out of contention for the race win with just how tight the one-stop was going to be around here. So you can see on the final lap then of this stint, really just trying to cruise around at the moment. Don't want to make any major mistakes. Don't want to run out of fuel as well. Obviously, that's going to cost us a lot of time if we have the limp back round to the pit lane there. So you can see the end of that lap there, really just lifting and coasting as we head out of the final big acceleration zone on this lap. Now, we will have to try and take the proper official pit lane here around Homestead, Miami. So you can see they're diving down under the bottom of the oval there. So you can see heading through the final corner. And we got 1% of fuel as we come in. So we had really cut that to the absolute limit there. You can see fast forwarding through the pit lane, though. Everyone else behind us had dived it in as well, though. We've still got a good sort of 300-foot lead over the Amazement there as we head back out onto the track there. And luckily for us, we're actually going to get out ahead of another couple of cars there. And really from then on, we'd just be able to build up the margin. I think, unfortunately, the guys behind did get held up in some lap traffic as well there. Just a few people having some issues there. And you can see the only real issue we had in the second half of this Grand Prix was actually Re-Nt Rosenquist and IRL Ben having a bit of a ding-dong there. Not too sure what that attempted move from Rosenquist was, but had this not been Forza with its lenient damage model, I would have probably been very, very annoyed that someone's Indycar had been launched over the top of me late on into this race there. So you get past both of those guys, and then, yeah, really, like I said, from then on, it was pretty plain sailing to the end of this race there. So you're heading on to the final lap, even tighter on fuel this time around there, down to 4.5% there, so it is going to be very, very close at the end of the Grand Prix. But you can see the gap behind us up at about 2,000 feet, obviously depending on where we were around the circuit on the final lap of this race there. And yeah, what a race it had been for ourselves. So, you know, Season 1 of the IndyCar Series was rather tough. Obviously never quite had the pace to match the likes of AMR Lawrence there. And yeah, GG Racing as well. Very, very quick that season, as well as the lack of attendance for me meant that that was always the series that got away for ourselves there. But heading into Season 3, though, we look strong. I feel quick once again. I haven't been playing much Forza recently, as you guys can probably tell by the lack of Forza content on this channel. But, you know, it feels good to get back into it, good to get back on the grind as well and see if we can try and wrap up another LCR Championship as well. That out in towards the final quarter then of this race. You can see we're down to just 1% fuel as we head onto the oval for the final time there. But the very first IndyCar race here from Homestead, Miami is going to go our way there. 25 points on the board. Unfortunately, we didn't get fastest lap as actually the car ran out of fuel heading over the finish line there. And yeah, Dralex actually nabbed the fastest lap bonus point from myself at the end of the day there by just 1/10 of a second there. So not quite the maximum haul, but we do take the race victory ahead of the Amazement by 10 seconds at the checkered flag there. Jork comes through for P3 ahead of Connor there. LCR Ben in at P5 there makes it a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Tempest Motorsport there as well at the end of the first race there. Dralex in 6th ahead of Apex, Rydog, Joe and Notyal rounding out the top 10 at the end of the day. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, do make sure you get yourself subscribed. And yeah, we will be back very, very soon for highlights from round 2 in the season where we head to Kota. I can tell you guys now, having done that race, it is an absolute banger. So make sure you're back here for then. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.